Hello! Welcome again to my charity YouTube channel. To start your day, just look up and believe. Just look up and believe. Before moving on to the causes of ADHD, let me introduce to you first the other types of ADHD. One of which is the combined type. This is the third type of ADHD. Combined type is the combination of the first type, which is inattention, and the second type, which is hyperactivity and impulsivity. Therefore, in this type, inattention, hyperactivity, and impulsivity are manifested for the past 6 months.
Combined type is the most difficult type of ADHD.
It is the what we call as
The fourth one,
predominantly inattentive. In this type, criterion A1 or inattention is met, but criterion A2 or hyperactivity or impulsivity is not met for the past 6 months. Lastly is the what we call as the predominantly hyperactive or impulsive type. In this type, criterion A2 or hyperactivity, impulsivity is met, and criterion A1 or inattention is not met for the past 6 months. To the causes of ADHD, there is no single cause for ADHD. There are a lot of causes that we may consider, and the causes that I will be presenting with you are just the possible causes that are mentioned in different researches. The very low birth weight. So if you are pregnant now
causes
or
is the
planning to
very
have a
low
baby,
birth weight.
I am telling you, proper nutrition is very important. Eat healthy foods for you and for your baby. If you are pregnant, consult your doctor for some advices. Another positive emotion also matters when you are pregnant. Avoid stressful activities and find or seek support from your loved ones. Again, premature babies with very low birth weight are at risk of having ADHD. Another cause of ADHD is the exposure to cigarette smoke, herbicides or pesticides, and viral infection as a fetus is in the womb. Many are saying cigarette smoking is really dangerous to your health, especially to the second smokers and to the third smokers.
Viral infections may reach your child of ADHD.
That's why pregnant women are advised by our health practitioners to, as much as possible, stay home because they're highly at risk of COVID-19, and with that, negative effects might happen to their baby. So, for those pregnant who are watching my video, take care of yourself to take care of your
The
baby.
third possible cause
Is the exposure to toxic substances. And what are the examples of toxic substances? One of which is the lead. The lead from old paints after birth or while in the womb. Another example of toxic substances is the mercury or the pesticides, herbicides. Those are the examples of toxic substances that we need to avoid because they are really harmful to humans' health, especially to babies. Another possible cause possible cause of ADHD is the nutritional deficiencies or unhealthy diet. In that case, avoid foods that are rich in preservatives. Those are the frozen or artificially colored foods. If you want to know more about those kinds of foods, just consult
Another
Google.
foods to avoid are the foods that are rich in sugar, like cakes, chocolates, donuts, etc. Ano lang ang pwedeng kainin? Lahat ay pwedeng kainin, but of course, with moderation.
With moderation. But if I were you, eat freshly cooked foods like sinigang na baboy, bangus, hipon, adobo, paksiw, pinakbet, inabraw. Marami namang choices. Kaya do not worry, madami ka din namang pwede pang kainin. Choose locally grown fruits and vegetables because these are the foods that are with less chemicals. There may be a history of child abuse, neglect, infections. Example of that is the encephalitis or alcohol exposure in utero. My say to this is that if you are planning for a baby, make sure that both of you wanted and planned him or her. And if both of you were not yet ready to have a baby, never do it. Never try to do it. Emotional and mental maturity are needed in bearing a child with quality of life. Financial aspect must also considered. Drinking alcohol is strictly prohibited when you are pregnant. Because again, this might risk your baby of having ADHD. Another ADHD is the brain injuries like cerebral trauma or infections. Examples of cerebral infections are meningitis or the encephalitis. Encephalitis is the inflammation of the brain tissue caused by an infection. When meningitis and encephalitis go together, we call it meningoencephalitis. Brain is our driver. Just like a car without a driver, no matter how expensive that car is, it will not run. So for us human, if our brain is injured or damaged, we cannot move. We really cannot work the way we wanted. 7th cause of ADHD is the genetic factor. Based on the researches, it runs in families or inherited for about 75%. ADHD is elevated in the first degree biological relatives of individuals with ADHD. Again, among the causes, it says that it runs in families or inherited for about 75%.
That's all for this time, class. I hope you learned a lot from this video. Goodbye!